See? Naughty to hottie in 4 easy steps.
Monster High is iconic. From the characters to the fashion, everything about it has always tickled my brain in the right ways. When I was younger, I was so obsessed with it that my bedsheets and my towels were Monster High themed. I had Frankie, Draculara, Clawdeen, and Lagoona dolls, and the feelings I had when playing in the official Monster High website will never be felt again. It was unique and bold, and even someone like me who was accustomed to pink and glamorous Barbie dolls was completely enamored by Monster High's dark and mysterious aesthetic. Hi, my name is RGB, and I have very mixed feelings about the Monster High Generation 3 designs. And since I've heard that at least the third live-action Monster High movie is being cancelled, I'm not really sure about the Nickelodeon show since I've heard it was, but then it wasn't, so I don't know. I thought it would be a good moment to put out this redesign video. Also because we're on spooky month, so it's very fitting. Personally, I don't think that all of the character designs from this generation are completely terrible, but some changes really decharacterized the goals so much it was honestly sad, and the excessive saturated colors and lack of black in the character designs is also something that bothers me, but I suppose they aren't interested in bringing back the aesthetic that made Monster High famous in the first place. So today I'll be working on redesigning Lagoona Blue and Clawdeen Wolf, which are two of the Gen 3 designs I dislike the most. I will also be working on Draculara as a bonus, but I don't dislike her as much as the other two, though I do believe she has also some flaws in her design. Lagoona was the first from the lineup, and I chose to keep her base appearance similar to the original one. The only thing I really changed is that she has pink gradients on her hands, legs, and faintly on her cheeks. As you can see, this time the video format is a tiny bit different, as I decided to draw all of them in the same canvas. It's my sad attempt to manage to draw the characters more consistently within my style, and to try and make the viewing process for you guys more dynamic. Do give me your opinion in the comments if you guys think this is cooler to watch or not, or if you prefer separated sections. Going back to Lagoona, her personality is really easygoing and friendly. She always struck me as those super cool surfer guys, but she's a girl, she's very chill. So I tried to keep that vibe she always gave me. I knew from the start that I wanted her to wear a swimsuit underneath her outfit, so she would be prepared to dive in anywhere she wanted to, but I didn't want the swimsuit to look too basic or tacky, so I looked up some reference and merged a few designs I found until I had something that was more visually interesting, and I really hope I managed to do something that was nice to look at. The main idea for her outfit was pretty much the same from her original design: swimsuit, shorts, jacket, and heels, but I did a few alterations on how it was presented, and I gave her a bucket hat with coral and algae decoration, which I really liked. Also from the redesign, I kept her shoes that has an octopus because I thought it was really cute, so I didn't feel like I needed to change it. Since Monster High is a doll brand and unsurprisingly they want to sell dolls, I believe it is a lot easier for the characters to be more detailed and visually interesting, so I wasn't too afraid of giving the girls many details in these redesigns, and it is probably the redesigns I put the most details in out of all of my videos. I haven't watched the show, so I don't know much about Lagoona's overall characterization there. I only watched some small bits, and she's kinda entertaining, but nothing like the original one, which worries me a little bit. But in the terrible live-action movies, she barely appears, is overall kind of useless, and for some reason the brand decided she's not Australian anymore, and she's like from Honduras, which makes her a Latina. I don't know how you call who's from Honduras on duty. I don't know. And I do find kinda weird that they changed her nationality, but it doesn't really bother me. I just don't really know why they did that. I made her be the tallest character, mostly because swimmers are usually very tall and their height affects on how fast they can swim. And her overall clothing design has a lot of more bluish, and I really ran away from the rainbow they tried to put on her because I thought it was just really awkward and really didn't fit Lagoona at all. So I mostly kept the same, and to be fair, I really like the design she has so far. I think it's easy on the eyes, has enough detail, and she still looks like Lagoona, but a little bit more modern. Okay, so now we're going to Clawdeen. Okay, so I'll be honest with you. Clawdeen turning into the protagonist wasn't a problem to me, but I really didn't like how they turned her into such a bland and generic character. She's always had a strong, powerful personality and a really striking fashion sense. And now she's ugly as hell. And Well, also side note, I really dislike Clawdeen's and Doo's relationship. Like, what the heck? Where did that came from? So weird. Another thing I also dislike, there's so many things I dislike, is that they made her a halfling, a hybrid, half human, half monster, because we already have characters that tackle that concept in a way that is much more interesting and better than how Clawdeen was represented, because her entire conflict is just so boring and like uninteresting. Like, why is that there? That's useless. Can you guys just make her a full werewolf and, I don't know, something cooler? Okay, I'm sorry. Going back to the design instead of the writing, I understand that this newer generation has a modernized feeling to it and that they are making the dolls to appeal to the kids who use TikTok, wear vibrant and colorful clothes, and watch Cocomelon or whatever. The cast looks a lot more youthful in contrast to their dark and mature original looks, and it's undeniable that it fits a high schooler nowadays a lot more. They look like real high schoolers. But the lack of gothic and more alternative looks strip Monster High of what made it special in the first place, which is a big point for me and why I don't personally enjoy this third generation. But again, I know the designs for what they were made for aren't that bad. It's just that compared to the actual designs, it's really not what you would expect. If you showed me them, I would just think it's a completely different brand. It's not Monster High. Also, heads up I wanted to give. The Nickelodeon show in live action, Clawdeen's designs are very terrible and ugly. I'm sorry. And make the doll no justice at all because the actual dolls look very alright and I don't hate them so much. I had to search because I was making everything in this video based off live action and the series and I really didn't like how she looks there. But her doll looks really okay. She's actually very interesting. Okay, going back to the actual drawing, I obviously designed her using her Gen 1 version as a base. The most I took from Gen 3 was the moon face belt, which looks cool enough. I really like it. I like how Clawdeen has this reoccurring moon aesthetic on her. Of course, she's a werewolf, but I really like it. And similarly to Lagoona, Clawdeen's outfit follows the same pattern as her first one. She has a jacket, a shirt underneath the jacket, a skirt, and some boots. I only really changed how they look, which I don't really know if it counts with making a new something because I didn't create something new, but I guess it's different enough. I made her a lot sharper, but I also made her rounder because her hair is really curly and I really like the curls for her. Do tell me if you like her hairstyle. I thought it was a really cool change from her usually long hair and I thought it suited her a lot. I really liked it. I know that maybe I can be rambling a lot and not talk specifically about the redesigns that I'm working on, but these redesigns were really a lot of trial and error because as I analyzed Monster High fashion, I noticed it was really some kind of fashion I didn't really understand. I'm not big on fashion. I can't tell you I'm good at it or the most fashionable person, but some of the clothes had a lot of patterns and patterns on top of patterns and weird things that didn't really make sense and some really questionable choices. But I think that's what made Monster High so charming. It was so bold and sometimes it was kind of awkward, but when put together it was really fashionable in their own unique ways. And to be fair, I wish that I could be as confident as Clawdeen and wear all of the outfits she wears, but I'm too self-conscious. Clawdeen, you slay girl. And as we're nearing the end of the video, we have Draculara. I was going to bash on the characters a lot more in this video. I was planning to really bash on the third generation, but as I researched more and I saw a little bit more of clips, I was like, maybe it's not so bad. It's definitely not something I enjoy and something I would go for the girls, but I see how they can be appealing and entertaining to this new generation of children. And even me, if I wasn't actually thinking of the first generation, I would probably enjoy how the things are presented because they seem very silly. Okay, going back to Draculara, as she's a bonus, I really didn't think much about her character design. I wanted to follow the same pattern, just pick her things and style a little bit, but I think she's the one that changes the most when it's compared to her actual Gen 1 design. I think maybe, I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. Clawdeen looks a lot more different. I wanted to keep her pigtails because as much as they tried to do a Melanie Martinez kind of look to her hair, I really didn't like it, and the pigtails are so important to Draculara's character that I was like, I'll just put some spiky buns on top of her head and make the pigtails come out of that and it'll be similar and different enough for her. And I leaned for her towards, and for her fashion style, I tried to stick to the actual Draculara fashion style because I know she's described as Lolita, something goth Lolita or something like that, but I always got Victorian vibes from her for some reason, so I kind of tried to do a mix and match of that because the Generation 3 Draculara is just trendy and something you would see a girl wearing today. She is kind of an e-girl, if I'm being honest, and doesn't give me much Draculara vibes. She's very bland, and that's why I don't have much of an opinion on her. And you can notice through all of these designs that when I was in the coloring phase, I started changing the actual line art of the designs because while deciding where the colors would go, some things really didn't fit, and as I said, all of these designs are really trial and error. Some final notes I have to say is that I tried to add the green we see very often in Clawdeen's other outfits to her main because I didn't want to keep the pinkish red she has for her shirt, so I did that. And for Lagoona, I turned her pink into a more coral color, salmon color. I don't know much about colors. Overall, I was pretty distressed when working on this video because Monster High is something that I treasure a lot. I've always been very interested in Monster High. It has always been something very special to me. So when we have to redesign something like that, I really wanted to put my heart onto it and try to do the best I can with the limited amount of time I have to work on the videos. Do give me your opinion in the comments of what you think of those. If I had to write a reboot for Monster High, they would probably be in the college instead of staying in high school. I mostly thought of that at the end and I was almost done because I always forget they are high schoolers. They always seem to be in college because they're so mature. I think that's a flaw they have, but anyways, if you are entertained by this video, do consider checking out my other redesign videos. They're not as much detailed as this one because I've really overdid myself on this one. I really like how they turned out. I really like Monster High. But you definitely have a good time if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!